I would put it on the bun. You could fit the pickles. You could put pickles in the pickles. You can fit the pickles in there. You can fit the pickles in there. Come on. Some onions. Pickle chicken sandwich. Take it away, John Frickin Smith.
Welcome to the rabbit hole,
How did we end up on that rabbit hole?
where all you knew is wrong. And rules are just suggestions,
I like the pipe.
made up as we go along.
Shut up, Corn.
Fuck you.
And who knows what you'll find here. Maybe heaven or your worst fears. Whatever it may be, it's yours to keep forever.
Just in time. You've entered a rabbit hole. Please go down further. Where there's philosophy hidden within stupidity.
My nipples are sweating.
What are they doing to that chicken?
They're punching holes in it. You know what? I want to teabag Hank Azaria. He can make weird noises.
You're fucking weird.
You guys are horrible.
Bunyan rings? Like, I wouldn't eat those.
What the fuck? Hey,
Even if it was Paul Bunyan themed, like, you know what I mean? Like flannel onion rings or something like that. You're like, yeah, I had a heart attack. Fuck you.
it's a sunshiny day.
Yeah. Fat people need love, too. Stop the ship, for we have touched the bottom of the sea. You're just in time. We are the anchors. Ah, you get it now? You get it now? You see what I did there?
You hit it right on the head.
Yeah. And then made sure to point it out.
That's breaking the fourth wall.
I don't know if we ever had any walls up in this program to begin with. I just called it a program. Ew.
I don't know if that sounds like positive or maybe
sounds
you're just
old
getting
as
old. Yeah,
fuck.
you're getting old. Or your listening program here.
Yeah, we are the J&T backers. DJ Van Nielsen, joined as usual by...
Norman Blunts.
And we're here today for another late review. I'm not going to continue that voice for forever because it's too sexy.
Some movies suck, and some are great, but our reviews are always late reviews with the boys from Just in Time.
So, this is a particular late review that it's going to be, it's extra late. Not only is it late, because we're always late with our reviews, as John Frickin Smith said. But the movie itself, I think, was too late. We'll get into that in a second. But before we do, as usual and as always, we thank Mr. John Frickin Smith. Not only for that late review song you just heard, but for the one you heard at the beginning. What's the name of that song?
Yours to keep.
What album is that from?
Songs of the Great Collapse.
Now, I need to check that out. Where can I find it?
JohnFrickinsmith.com.
And that's how you do commercials. Not really. That
Where
honestly,
can I find it? You sounded like you're a tool.
Yeah.
You're a tool.
I want to check that out. Where can I find it? So,
How was that one, John? Thumbs up or down?
oh man. So yeah, the journeys. Korn again is not along with us for this particular part of the journey, but he was along in the theater for this late review, and we often have the same sentiment. If we argue, then it's one of those like we can't do a late review until we are in the same room, but we walked out with similar sentiment on this one. Black Widow. On one hand, I love Scarlett Johansson. David Harbour is awesome in just about anything he does. Except Hellboy, but that wasn't his fault, really.
Hellboy was no one's fault.
Rachel Weisz. I have always had a soft spot for her since The Mummy and Constantine. Underrated. Constantine, not her. She's probably underrated too, I guess. But
Both.
yeah, you know. Yeah, Florence Pugh. I don't know shit about her, but she was good. It's all a matter of this movie's set between Infinity War between Civil War and Infinity War. It probably should have come out between Civil War and Infinity War. At the very least, it should have come out between Infinity War and Endgame. I would have been fine with that. A nice filler, what she's been up to before Thanos arrived, But no, they first off they delayed it to 2020. Let's be real. Its original release date was already too late. A year ago would have been too late. The fact that they, of course, delayed it this long and tried to, let's wait until the summer of 2021. Maybe things will be back to normal and we can release it.
Nope.
Well, I mean, they did release it finally, but it didn't. Was it worth the wait? Not entirely, no. On one hand, there is that sentiment. Again, Scarlett Johansson is awesome. She's been awesome as Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff, for the better part of a decade. And even like the first Avengers movie, she was the one that, put Loki's scepter into the fucking thing to stop the Tesseract and close the hole. She tightens holes, closes them. But, even her introduction on Iron Man 2, that was one of those like, oh shit, they're really doing it. They're really leading up to some Avengery, some Avengery stuff. But again, this one was just a bit late. So yeah, you got the opening scene. It was actually pretty decent, and it had nothing to do with Scarlett Johansson. You get Natasha as a kid with her sister. They're undercover. The family is Russian spies, except in the 90s instead of like the 80s, because Scarlett Johansson's not that old. But yeah, they suddenly have to leave, and fucking they'd done some kind of science shit, figured out some kind of mind control shit. You find out later. Yeah, that's your big enemy in this one, mind control.
Ooh. Does it have anything to do with a Mind Stone?
No. Nah. Just like some kind of chemical stuff or something or other. But there's a chemical now that can release them from their mind control. So of course when they this is when they're grown up now. They fast forwards past their opening scene, because the kids get separated. They both become Black Widow assassins, basically. But Natasha breaks out without ever going back to find her fake sister, who she apparently bonded with because they were undercover for 3 years together, Which is a long enough time for people to bond if you're pretending to be a family. If we lived in the same house for 3 years,
those
we'd
are
be fucking
special
at the
bonds.
What?
They were special bonds.
Yeah. But so yeah, one of the first things that happens is obviously Natasha got out of the Black Widow program long ago and joined S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that good stuff. But the sister became a mind-controlled assassin, and she was sent to assassinate another Black Widow that defected. And she got hit with this stuff. It's like an aerosol or something like that. You just got to splash it in their face, apparently, and it's like pixie dust that breaks them free of the stuff. So she sends it to her sister, who's, undercover, or not undercover, but like hiding. you know, because it's after Civil War, so she's on the run. She was in like Iceland or some weird shit like that. I don't remember. Taskmaster goes hunting after her. There's a whole thing. Taskmaster. Have you seen anything about the twists?
What, the woman?
Yeah. Well, apparently you have. Yeah. Well, did you see the explainer on who the woman is?
No.
Okay. You want to know?
Yeah, why not?
It's a little girl. Okay. Remember? Let's rewind back to Avengers Assemble, as it's known, the first Avengers movie. They do need to just officially change that to Avengers Assemble. I think it was like that, like overseas or something like that, but not in America. But they need to just change that, because every time I go to see the first Avengers, I gotta stop and like, no, not Captain America. But when she's talking to Loki, and she's talking about the red on her ledger, he mentions a few different situations. One of them being Dracov's daughter. That's Taskmaster. Dracov is the guy running the Black Widow program and shit. I can't remember the actor's name, but he was on The Departed. He was Nicholson's like right hand guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The fucking bigger guy kind of looked like James Gandolfini.
Yeah. Ray Winstone or something like that, I think his name is. But yeah, he's playing Dracov, and apparently like the mission that Natasha had to do to prove that she was defecting from the Black Widows or whatever to get in with S.H.I.E.L.D. was to blow up Dracov. And the way she knew that he was in the building was because his daughter got dropped off there or some shit like that. So she blew up him and the daughter. Thought he was dead this whole time. Found out he wasn't. That's when she, comes. She goes to where her sister was, which is in Budapest. Get it? Get it? Oh, because that's where it happened. That's where she blew up the thing. But she gets to the sister. The sister's got fucking, she's got a whole stack of these red mist things that demystify you. Get it? I came up with that one all by my lonesome. Yeah. So that she goes. The sister's at one of Black Widow's safe houses and shit. At one of Natasha's safe houses, one that her and Clint went to. There's evidence of Clint too. Well, from when they were there before, because there's arrow holes in the wall next to bullet holes. Sister asks about it. She explains that it's arrows. But when she first gets there, when Natasha first gets there, the sister's there. They start fighting for some reason. Even though the sister's the one that contacted her and shit, and she's not brainwashed anymore, and obviously the Avenger sister isn't brainwashed either, Sister's name is Yelena, by the way. And she still has the Russian accent. Just to make that funner too. But yeah, the blah blah blah, fast forward, fucking she thinks she killed the daughter. She didn't kill the daughter or the guy. She goes and fucking teams up with the sister. They go to reunite the family. They break out the dad from prison. And the dad is Red Guardian. And he's pretty awesome. He was funny. Kind of fat. But super soldiery too. So there was some fun stuff there. But yeah, they reunite with the mom, who figures out, like, she pretty much engineered all the mind control shit. She's using it on a pig. She tells the pig to stop breathing, and it just stops breathing.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And the mom is obviously Rachel Weisz. Yeah. Looking good. But yeah, they have a nice tender family moment. The sister was one of the life of the party kind of things. There's the passing of a torch aspect, and she was also taking the sister down a notch, taking Natasha down a notch. She made fun of her doing her little poses when she lands and shit. With the Russian accent, it sounds even weirder when you're getting roasted. She's like, and you do this thing where you pulls your arm out like this, and then later on in the movie, the sister drops in on a hallway and she does the pose, and then she gets up and she's like shakes it off like that's disgusting. So there, like I said, yeah, there's good parts. Most of the problem is when you get to the boss battle, basically, because obviously they all team up. They go to try to. The guy has a base in the sky.
What the fuck?
Yeah. so so they have to go to the base in the sky to go get him. And they bring back the technology from Winter Soldier. Remember the Mission Impossible masks on Winter Soldier that Natasha actually used to get close to the Robert Redford?
Yeah.
She uses one of those to look like Rachel Weisz, gets close to the guy, and then he calls her on it. Knows right away. So she takes off the mask. And then she goes to stab him or shoot him or something. But she can't, because he's got some special pheromone. Did you hear about that?
No.
He's got a special pheromone on him. That prevents women, I guess, from being able to cause him harm. From being able, like, on a subconscious level. You won't pull the trigger. You won't stab me. So there's one part that was unintentionally funny, and I say that just because Korn and I were the only people in the theater laughing out loud. He's telling her about this pheromone, and she's, like not shooting him or anything like that because she can't. And he like at this point he's like kind of circling her, walking around her and shit. And he does one of those. He does like the fake smack at her, like an Ike Turner wind up, and she flinches. It's a very quick moment, but for some reason it played off hilarious because he's standing he's taller than her, I guess, to where it's one of those like he's towering over her, and just you've never seen that the character Black Widow in any of these movies that vulnerable looking. You know what I mean? Even when she's tied up in the chair on Avengers, she looked like she still had the upper hand. Like that was all part of the plan. Apparently this was too, but just in that moment, just like, see, you won't hit me. And she just flinches, and me and Corner are sitting there cracking up. Nobody else.
Everyone else around is like, that's fucked up.
Domestic violence isn't funny, guy.
Like in a movie it is.
Yeah. That's fucked up to say, but it's very true. In a movie, sometimes it is. I laughed. I watched that damn Tina Turner movie. There's a part in there when fucking Lawrence Fishburne, he like throws her down on the ground, and she's behind a couch to where you can't even see what he's hitting. To where you just see the look on his face and him just punching at nothing behind the couch, and just like, yeah, obviously he's not beating the real shit out of her.
But
it's hilarious to see the look on his face because he's got the perm and shit. You know what I mean? He's playing Ike Turner. It's not.
He doesn't get an option.
Yeah. It was something hilarious about it. The domestic violence is not hilarious, but movies are hilarious, unintentionally. But yeah, so she takes she gets all close to him. That's when he reveals he also reveals that the Taskmaster, the Taskmaster takes off the VR Trooper helmet. Because Taskmaster also doesn't have anything to do with Tony Masters or whatever. Nothing. He doesn't. None of that shit. None of the mimicking is a power. It's all part of the mind control. There's just an uploaded thing into the helmet, and she just watches videos and studies. Her fighting style through the whole thing, mimicking. You see different styles. You see Black Panther style. You see Winter Soldier style with kind of the knife throwing type shit. You see a bow and arrow come out. there's a shield. It's using all hero fighting styles. The problem with the twist, why make it look like a dude? Because the costume or whatever is all broad shoulders and big giant, pectorals. Which means they had to superimpose or whatever this woman's face onto some big dude's body and shit for that. Why? If it was, it could easily have been a mysterious woman. It's the guy only runs the Black Widow program where it's all female assassins. Would it really be that surprising that he would have a super female?
No, that would be more expected.
Like the top, yeah, you know what I mean? A top ranked one with armor that's form fitting.
Idiots.
But no, they wanted to trick the audience. It wasn't to trick fucking Black Widows, to trick the audience. And oh, look at that. Look at that. It's a lady. Dude looks like a lady. And it's even more fucked up because the actress, Olga Kurylenko, I'm pretty sure has a fucking Eastern European accent, but gets no lines. The only one that could actually fucking sound like she's supposed to sound doesn't sound like she's supposed to sound. Why didn't I feel like Florence Pugh only got that part of the little sister because maybe they couldn't get Chloe Grace Moretz. Blonde Russian girl, she can do it. I'm pretty sure she can do some Russian stuff. She spoke Russian on the second Kick-Ass. I know that. But yeah, so and she had the burnt face. I don't know if you saw her face and shit. The Taskmaster face without the helmet, but yeah, she's got a burnt face. Yeah, that chick's been on a lot of stuff too. I'm just trying to remember. She was on one of the James Bond movies. I think it was Casino Royale, but I'm not positive. She was on one of them, but yeah. So her way of beating the pheromone is by taunting the guy, this Dreykov, into punching her in the face a bunch of times, with the intention of him eventually breaking her nose, or you know what I mean. She had to sever the nerve or whatever in order to not inhale the fucking, you know what I mean, the pheromone. But he couldn't break her nose because he was too weak. Every time he punched her in the face, it didn't work. So she had to slam her face on the table. Yeah. After he revealed like his grand plan of like, you know what I mean?
He was throwing muffins?
Yeah,
muffins.
He had Black Widows all over the world, and she did the whole like thing that she did to Loki, where at the end of the boasting or whatever, she said, "Thank you for your cooperation." And then yeah, proceeded to slam her face onto the fucking desk and bust her nose, beats his ass. He gets away because, you know, all the Black Widows come in. But then the sister comes in and throws all those little red misters. Hey, I just realized I said red mist and I was talking about Kick-Ass too. Yeah. But she throws throws them like a grenade, frees all the Black Widows. They get away. Well, because now they're blowing up the sky base is blowing up, because you got to have a sky fight. If there's not a sky beam, there has to be a sky fight. It's a rule. Think about it. The first Iron Man had both. He had a sky fight against Jeff Bridges, and then a sky beam killed Jeff Bridges. Set two precedents in one movie. Some a bitch. So yeah, the base is falling apart. The little sister kills Dreykov by like blowing up his helicopter, but it knocks her unconscious, of course, falling. Natasha has to save her, but Taskmaster's hunting her because Taskmaster's still under mind control. Oh no, he's just gonna kill Black Widow. Or she. Sorry. She still has the VR Trooper mask on, even though she's already revealed her face and
What's the point in that?
Yeah, I know. But Natasha figures out how to take the helmet off and splashes her in the face with some of that stuff. And then she's like, "Is my daddy dead?" "Yeah, he's gone." And then they touch foreheads. Because, that's what you do when you kill someone's father. After you scarred them for life as a child. Which caused them to become a mind-controlled monster.
Yeah,
Even
when
though
you
it was
think
their
about
father
this,
doing
the Black Widow's the bitch in all of this.
it. Yeah. Yeah, so she gets, the family gets away. They reunite, the mom, the dad, and the sister, and they join hands across America. They take all the Black Widows with them to free other Black Widows, and Taskmaster goes with them. But Natasha stays because she has to tie her storyline back to the events that happened 3 years ago. So she has to go and get her hair blonded, get on a fucking Quinjet, because her buddy got her a Quinjet. That's how they got the Quinjet. Did I mention the vest?
No.
Remember on Infinity War? Black Widow, she didn't just have the typical black leather jumpsuit. She had like a vest looking thing.
Yeah, it was like all tactical.
Yeah, that was a vest. I didn't know it was a vest. It was a vest. She got it from her sister. It was the first thing her sister bought with her own money. Like the first choice she got to make for herself pretty much in her life.
So sweet.
Yeah. And she modified it and gave it more pockets. So yeah, Black Widow goes, cuts her hair, dyes it blonde, gets her pocket vest, and goes on to join the Avengers. But then you get that post-credit scene. Remember Homegirl from Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
The with the purple streak in the hair?
Okay, yeah.
Well, remember Black Widow was supposed to come out last summer. So that was supposed to technically be her MCU debut. She appears. The little sister's at Natasha's gravesite. What's buried there, I do not know. I assume like a couple guns or something like Sarah Connor style, but sister's, crying and looking at the grave. It's one of those after Endgame things. And this lady shows up, Valentina blah 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 Fontaine shows up, and she's basically trying to recruit her for something. Well, this is what she tells her, is that the man responsible for her sister's death, she knows who it is. You remember who the man was that was responsible for Natasha Black Widow death?
It wasn't Red Skull,
No.
but I mean,
The picture on the file that she hands to that sister is Clint Barton. That's his name, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Hawkeye, yeah. And Hawkeye has a series coming up. Guess who the villain's probably gonna be? Little Russian sister. I don't know why every time I hear Americans doing fake Russian accents, I picture Smoking Aces. He's like, that looks like Eastern European jizz. I don't know why, but that movie was fucking. That was a good movie. I don't know why, but yeah, Black Widow. It was too late. It was too. They didn't need to do a twist with Taskmaster, honestly. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. Like, yeah, let's just change everything about a character that people were actually excited to see in this movie. But it didn't quite sit well, and that's why it'll be, sadly, one of the forgettable movies. I personally think it should have came out Captain Marvel's movie release slot. That's when it should have came out. But yeah, this has been another late review for a movie that was too late to come out. So that means the review had to get pushed back to be made extra late because
Now we're on a double late schedule.
and because the show's called Just in Time
So you're always just in time.
and late. You're never early.
You're never where you want to be when you want to be there.
See, a wizard arrives just in time. Gandalf. And I am a wizard on that D&D podcast. So I arrive whenever I just in time. Yeah.